everything. I love to fish. It's my passion. Dan Johnston with St. Croix Fishing Rod Company, and I'm National Accounts Manager. My favorite fishing memory, it was with my son, and it was in Canada. And we had a big northern pike that kept taking walleyes off our rods when we're reeling them up. So I rigged up a big plastic bait and put some harness hooks in it, and I hung it about 6 inches under the water, and I told my son we were gonna catch the Loch Ness Monster. Next morning we had a walleye up to the boat, and I pulled the walleye out of the water, and the fish smoked the plastic bait, and my son reeled it in, and he was ecstatic. It's always been my passion. I'd run home from the school bus when I would get off of school and run to the pond where I lived, and I'd take a MEPS number 3. I'd walk all the way around the pond and cast, and I'd go home and then do my homework. Well, I was in retail right out of high school actually, and through college. Worked retail, was a store manager for a couple stores in Iowa. And that's how I got my foot in the door with St. Croix, because that position came up 17 years ago to be a regional account manager. From distribution channels to product innovation to marketing to increase interest in trying to get youth into fishing. So the fishing industry's in a great place right now, but it's changed a lot. Certainly since I've been working it. I'd like to see the fishing industry keep focused on the right things, meaning people, the resources, protecting our resources. I was always told as a young person, if you work what you love, you don't feel like you're working. So I was always driven to do that. I kind of got lucky getting into this, but it's been very rewarding. So I would say follow your passion for sure. We all have different talents and aptitudes, and when we find something really super fun in our life, let's try to work in that avocation, and if we can make that happen, it's really rewarding. St. Croix exists to give the angler an advantage on the water. It's not about us, and it's about the consumer. And what's so cool is because we have our eye on the ball so much on that, we work very, very hard every year to drive ourselves to build the best product we can possibly build, but it's also about culture, it's about company history, and it's about technology. St. Croix is determined to keep their eye on the end of the rainbow, meaning the customer. And we're so driven to do that, it shows up in our customer service. The product development's driven towards that. It's a very unique culture, and I think a lot of that's because we're family owned. They take a lot of pride in that. And again, it's always gonna go back to the mission of trying to give the angler an advantage on the water. I'm proud of being part of a team that is focused on the consumer like St. Croix has. When you buy a St. Croix rod, you become part of our family.